Okay, so let's get right into it. What if I told you that the key to fighting that dangerous muscle loss that happens as we get older isn't in another egg, and it's not in another one of those chalky protein shakes? I mean, for years, that's all we've heard, right? But what if there's a specific fruit that top researchers are now calling a superior anabolic stimulus for building muscle in older adults? A fruit that might just turn everything we thought we knew completely on its head.
And that really is the big question, isn't it? This whole idea is based on some incredible research out of the University of Copenhagen. You hear that and you think, come on, a simple fruit being better than eggs or whey protein, that sounds way too good to be true. But you know what? The science is pointing to a powerful new way for us to think about our health, especially when we're going up against a really serious condition that affects millions of people.
And that condition, well, it has a name. It's called sarcopenia. Now, it sounds all technical, but what it really means is that slow, creeping loss of muscle, of strength. It's a reality for almost half of all adults over 80. And it's what leads to those devastating falls, fractures, and a loss of independence. But here is the most important thing I want you to hear today. It is not inevitable. And to understand how to fight it, first, we've got to understand why it's even happening.
The main culprit is something scientists call anabolic resistance. And don't let the name intimidate you. Anabolic just means to build up. So as we age, our bodies literally start to become resistant or deaf to the signals that tell our muscles to grow and repair themselves. The message to get stronger is being sent, but the call isn't getting through.
This slide right here, this shows you exactly what's happening. When you're 30, that muscle building signal is like a crystal clear radio station. Boom, the message is received and your muscles get to work. But by the time you're 75, that same signal is full of static. It's jammed. So all that good protein you're eating, it's like the building materials are sitting at the construction site, but the foreman never got the call to start building. So how do we unjam that signal? Well, it starts with some very surprising foods. Let's count them down.
All right, coming in at number 5, we have tart cherries. And I can hear you now. Cherries for building muscle? Really? But stick with me, because this isn't about protein. This is about fighting the single biggest enemy of aging muscle, chronic inflammation.
I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Inflammation is like a constant, low-grade fire in your body's muscle-building factory. It's destroying the raw materials before you can even use them. But get this, a study from the University of Vermont found that older adults who drank tart cherry concentrate saw a massive 47% reduction in inflammatory markers. They were literally putting out the fire. So, what's the game plan? It's simple. Just a little bit of tart cherry juice or a handful of dried ones every day can make a huge difference. And here's a little pro tip for you. Pair them with a healthy fat like walnuts. It helps your body absorb the good stuff even better. This simple trick helped a 78-year-old man named Harold, who, for the first time in years, finally started seeing real muscle definition in his arms after adding this one thing to his daily routine. Incredible! Let's move on to number 4. Number 4 is a food that's been hiding in plain sight at pretty much every summer barbecue you've ever been to: watermelon. And its secret power comes from a special amino acid that goes to work on another major roadblock that our aging bodies have to deal with.
You are going to love this analogy. See, as we get older, our blood vessels get a little stiffer, a little less flexible. Think of them as roads full of potholes. It makes it really hard to deliver nutrients to our muscles. Well, the citrulline in watermelon helps your body produce something called nitric oxide, which relaxes and widens those blood vessels. It literally fixes the roads, so all that protein and all those nutrients can get delivered right where they need to go.
Now, timing is key here. For the best effect, you want to have about 4 cups of watermelon around 30 to 45 minutes before you exercise. That's going to maximize that blood flow right when your muscles need it. And for another quick synergy tip, a tiny pinch of black pepper can actually help your body absorb those valuable amino acids even more efficiently.
All right, at number 3, we've got hemp seeds. And let's just get this out of the way right now. Yes, this is the completely legal food product you find right in the grocery store. It has absolutely zero psychoactive properties. What it does have, though, is a unique kind of muscle-building power that's almost perfectly designed for an aging body.
So what makes hemp seeds so special? Well, look at this combination. First, they're a complete protein. Second, they're super high in leucine, which is basically the ignition key that starts the engine for muscle growth. But their real secret weapon is a protein called adestin. And the amazing thing about adestin is that it's incredibly easy for an aging digestive system to break down and absorb. And the best part? It's ridiculously easy to get these into your diet. Just 3 or 4 tablespoons a day. Sprinkle them on your yogurt, throw them in a smoothie, stir them into your oatmeal. It's that simple. Just try to pair them with something rich in vitamin C, like berries, which will help your body absorb all that great iron, which is critical for getting oxygen to your muscles.
Number 2 is a familiar one, Greek yogurt. But hold on. Its real magic isn't just that it has a lot of protein. It's all about when and how you eat it. The secret is using it to turn the 8 hours you're asleep into a non-stop muscle-building session.
So get this, your body does the vast majority of its muscle repair while you're sleeping. But if you have a typical dinner, the protein from that meal is mostly gone from your system after just a few hours. By midnight, your muscles are screaming for building materials, but the supply chain is closed. Well, the slow-release casein protein in Greek yogurt acts like a 24-hour convenience store, dripping a steady supply of amino acids to your muscles all night long. And one study showed this simple trick led to a 22% greater muscle synthesis rate overnight.
A cup right before you go to bed, that's the ticket. And if you want to give it an extra boost, add some ground flaxseed. That'll help lower the stress hormone cortisol, which can actually break down muscle tissue. This exact routine helped an 81-year-old woman named Margaret make what her physical therapist called an unprecedented recovery after she had hip surgery. Okay, before we get to our number 1, we need to understand the 2 incredible compounds that make it so ridiculously powerful.
First up is a compound called betaine. Now, I want you to think of your mitochondria as these little power plants inside every single one of your cells. As we get older, those power plants just don't run as efficiently. Well, betaine is like a master mechanic, showing up to get those generators humming again, restoring the very energy production your cells need to rebuild.
And second, there's this absolutely remarkable compound called ectosterone. It's like having a master key. It completely bypasses the body's normal hormonal decline that comes with age and goes right in to flip the master switch for muscle growth directly. It is so effective, get this, it is actually on the World Anti-Doping Agency's official watch list. And you can get it from our number 1 food. And here it is, the number 1 food, the fruit that kicked this whole explainer off, the prickly pear. You might also know it as the cactus pear. This is the food that those researchers called a superior anabolic stimulus when compared to even the gold standard of eggs.
And if you want proof, look no further. This is absolutely nuts. In a clinical trial with adults between 65 and 80, the group that supplemented with prickly pear gained 28% more lean muscle mass than the group on standard protein. Let me say that again. Same exercise, same amount of total protein, but a 28% better result. That's a game changer.
And it's easy to use. Just aim for 2 fruits or a bit of the juice or powder about 45 minutes before you exercise. And for the ultimate power combo, combine it with a leucine-rich protein like our friend Greek yogurt. The prickly pear basically throws the doors to your muscles wide open, and the protein from the yogurt marches right on through. It's this combination that helped Robert, a retired firefighter, get his strength back and regain his independence.
So, let's wrap this all up. What's the bottom line here? The key takeaway today is a message of hope. It's a message of empowerment. Your body's machinery for growth, for repair, it's all still there. It's just waiting for the right signals. Sarcopenia, this muscle loss, it's a trend you can absolutely change. It is not a life sentence you just have to accept.
You have the knowledge now. You know that simple, powerful, and delicious foods can send a totally different message to your muscles. A message of strength, of vitality, of renewal. Your body is ready. It's listening. So the only real question left is, what are you going to tell it to do tomorrow?